Good morning,
Vincenzo.
Roberto.
Hi, good morning. A pleasure to see you, Vincenzo, and thank you for your time this morning. Vincenzo Ranieri is the president of the EU DSO entity and is managing Enel Distribuzione in Italy. Vincenzo, you have the floor for your keynote, which will be focusing on shaping the curve and fostering the largest need of distributed electricity. Please.
Thank you, Roberto, and good morning, everyone. I'm really pleased to be here sharing our common view about such essential topic, both for European countries and Mediterranean countries in general. That is the need of the electrification of consumption and of an efficient and resilient system to distribute clean energy everywhere, all the time. That is definitely the essential service that we provide and we have to provide, and to everyone. This statement is as true as climate change is hitting hard all over the world, but we are well aware that these extreme conditions are particularly affecting the Mediterranean countries, testing society, and in some cases we know that are fueling even social disorders and emigration. The energy sector is definitely a key contributor to climate change, accounting for more than 2/3 of global greenhouse gas emissions. And working on electrical grids efficiency shall give a contribution, a relevant contribution to tackle climate change, reaching, as was well commented yesterday by Mr. Buchel, the COP26 targets to reduce emissions and foster a just and fair energy transition. For this reason, I'm really glad to be here with some of the representatives of African power industries and associations like Race for Africa that works in support of Africa's just energy transition to achieve the UN Sustainable Development Goal. The path to reach a resilient, affordable and sustainable energy ecosystem require a great effort to develop and deploy the best and new technologies needed. Africa and Europe do not start from the same technological level of power infrastructures. This is something that we all know. But of course, not every country, neither in Europe nor in Africa, or not every DSO are at the same level in terms of experience or, as Mark was recalling, regulatory constraints that would require also reshape, or even in terms of technology. But definitely, for sure, all Mediterranean countries are moving in the same direction. That is to shape a more sustainable future for every citizen, unlocking the potential of building smart infrastructure and definitely smart grids that see in Europe the relevant and probably the most important incubator of such new technology for network infrastructures. Our two continents are approaching same challenges, because the paradigm of big power plants connecting to transmission grids is rapidly shifting. The world is facing a sharp decrease of the average size of installed power by 6 times. And we foresee that by 2050, more than 2 plants out of 2 will be smaller than today and connected to distribution networks. This is one of the main reasons why DSOs, the distribution system operators, will be more and more pivotal along the energy chain. And as Mr. Timmermans said at the EU-Africa Business Forum last April, Africa is facing a paradox. While African countries are among the world's richest in sustainable energy resources, more or less 600 people still do not have access to electricity today. And this is, of course, an inconsistency that must be overcome. And just quoting Mr. Timmermans, we must think big, helping the economic development and industrialization of Africa. It is truly important to make available the best technological solutions, know-how and ideas to foster a true penetration of electricity and electrification consumption towards southern coast of the Mediterranean Sea. And in this respect, building a reliable infrastructure that can serve African people will be useful to build increasingly more renewable energy plants, integrating them both in urban and rural grids and helping to reduce the cost of energy. This is the sort of virtuous circle that took in Europe probably 20, 30 years, but leveraging on the experience that we had in Europe, we must even give a contribution to accelerate, to boost this virtuous circle also in the other Mediterranean countries. We will contribute to reach those targets, enforcing the role of distribution grids, making them one of the fundamental pillars of the green economy. The recognition of the centricity of DSOs brought the European Commission to create a new entity, the EU DSO entity, that I have the honor to chair, to contribute to accelerate the crucial UN targets and making the just energy transition fair for all the citizens. Our aim is putting together all European DSOs and to give a unique voice to the needs of 260 million European citizens. Europe has the determination to drive the energy transition towards a fully decarbonized society within 2050. And of course, we want to accelerate, having posed a very ambitious target just by 2030. They are very ambitious, but definitely the effort and the action of all the European stakeholders, including, of course, DSOs, are making those targets really achievable. Of course, to have one unique single voice and one unique single entity that have contributed to define the new European network codes, to share best practices and to strengthen the cooperation between all energy stakeholders is definitely a powerful tool to nurture and just a fair green transition for all the citizens. We want to share with you this newly raised but strong voice, sharing our cooperation platforms in an open way that can be useful for both sides, promoting development and a strong distribution network for African electricity system. Our countries and our continents will be even more interconnected, not only by our similar cultural heritage, but also by the way we will use the energy in the near future. That's why we need to exchange our expertise and knowledge, as this occasion is giving us the chance to do, and for which I want to thank the EPRI, Electric, and our association EDSO. I firmly believe that a reliable distribution grid in all the Mediterranean countries is the best way to foster the industrialization of the continent and rising its economy. We would be glad to share with you our expertise and know-how in the way where every African countries could reach a faster electrification, learning even from our mistake, because definitely there is an adaptation times that we took in European countries, and we can optimize this learning curve in other Mediterranean countries, in order to leapfrog in the reaching of reliable and sustainable electrical services to African customers. The year to come will be really a great but even exciting challenge. And I hope that occasion like today meeting will be the first step of a bridge towards the Mediterranean Sea. I would like that this bridge will be built on common values, but even on a very pragmatic cooperation for a more sustainable and electrified world, promoting clean and resilient energy really for everyone. And having said that, I want to thank you again, Roberto, and all the organization, because this kind of discussion would really bring the cooperation from more ideal bridge to a very pragmatic and concrete way of cooperation and discussion. Thank you again.